What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. And you know what? A lot of brothers been hitting me up wanting me to talk about Eve. And I'm just going to be real, man. Eve is fine, man. Eve always been a good-looking woman to me. She's from the great city of Philadelphia. She was the Rough Riders' first lady. I mean, you know, she was born in the late 70s. You know, I'm an 80s baby. And, you know, the 90s was the time that Eve was cracking. Eve was beautiful. All right. I'm just going to be real. And she can rap, right? Like, Eve is talented, unlike Cardi B. But, you know, we're going to leave that where it's at. Eve comes from a, you know, really different background in her early life. You know, she was, you know, an exotic dancer, all right, and then Mace got her to stop dancing. So, you know, obviously she probably comes from a, you know, rough neighborhood, right? But Eve worked her way out of that. She worked her way into, you know, being a really popular actress, popular talk show host, you know, very popular rapper, television projects, what have you. But then things changed for her when she met Maximillion Cooper. Now, Maximillion Cooper is, if I'm not mistaken, he is a British millionaire, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's in the industry of like film, and he already has 4 children from previous relationships or marriages, right? And he started dating Eve in 2010. They got married in 2014 rather, in Spain. And so her stepchildren are not black, but they're white. And it seems like Eve changed since then, right? Like, you know, Eve, you know, is you know, definitely a little bit more domestic now. It could be because she's older, but many people say it's because, you know, she married you know, Max Cooper. And, you know, typically when sisters, you know, kind of marry out of the community, they take up the you know, they take up the energy of the guy. But Eve has had it seems like a happy marriage, right? But the problem is that Eve has come out and said this, that her interracial relationship and her marriage is having an impact. And the reason why it's having an impact because, you know, they are probably having differences of opinion due to the rise of the Black Lives Matter protest around the United States, okay? And if it's having an impact on her marriage, it's easy to assume that, well, number one, you know, Eve isn't talking about all lives matter, right? Eve is an African American. Eve is from Philly. Eve understands, you know, institutional racism. But Maximillion, who is from Britain and is a millionaire and probably doesn't understand black society like she does, has a different view of the protest. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just assuming this. I don't know if this to be truth, but I'm probably understanding this is probably his take. His take is probably, I don't understand why they're protesting. Why are they protesting? It doesn't make sense for them to protest. It doesn't make sense for them to riot, right? So I don't get it, and maybe all lives matter. And what's happening now is it's going to challenge the relationship because you have 2 different people who probably have the same love for entertainment, music, and things like that. But now, culture is what's coming into play now. And experience is coming into play now, all right? And Eve talks about this. And let me go ahead and, you know, dating music. I am in an interracial relationship. I am having some of the most difficult and uncomfortable conversations I think I've ever had, and vice versa with my husband. But at the same time, it's a beautiful thing because I don't know his life through his eyes. Stop the show. You don't know his life through his eyes, but but you married him, right? You was dating him for the last 10 years, and then you married the dude for 6 years, but no money. Music back. He doesn't know my life through my eyes. All he can try to do is try to understand and try to ask questions, and he wants to understand, but we have to be okay with being uncomfortable so that we get to a solution. Okay. Let me just read some of the other comments from Twitter, right? And this lady goes, in-source survivor, nope. This conversation was yesterday. My girl told me after that her hair is severely damaged because she insists on sewing the wig down and gluing it, and never, ever has her hair out apart from when she gets to my girl's salon. And then she says, I know personally few people that unproblematically are interracial relationships. Sorry to say, Eve's take on the recent engaging her white husband in racial discourse after years of marriage, while sad, does not surprise me. Sorry, I read the wrong one up front, right? The other chick says, dating music! Eve, girl, hush. Racism and protest didn't just start. If you and your husband never discussed race relations in interracial marriage, I don't know what y'all talking about before. Kiara says, how did Eve manage to be in the whole interracial marriage and wasn't already having those difficult conversations? Go ahead and give the sisters applause, right? Round of applause. And I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible because, you know, I understand that a lot of African Americans, you know, and I had this conversation somewhat with Brother Antoine Wade from Black Heights. Brother Antoine Wade from Black Heights is a very talented guy. Georgia Tech MBMA, and we were talking about, I think in the comment section, he says, you know, when a lot of African Americans sort of move up and they're doing, you know, different things, a lot of times more people that you're seeing are not black, right? And I can understand that, and he makes a really good point. Maybe when Eve was with Rough Riders, it was all good, but as she started to kind of, go up to another part of her career, and she started getting into, situations where guys were taking her a little bit more serious, and Maximillion Cooper was the guy that wanted to deal with her. All you're thinking about is what you agree on. But a lot of times, people's ideology of the race that you are a part of doesn't change because they're dealing with you. All right? There are people who, one would consider racist, and they still have a black husband or a black wife because, they made an exception. I'm not saying that this guy is that, but it wouldn't shock me based off what she's saying. And what happens is a lot of us, when we get in interracial relationships, we don't have those difficult conversations because we feel that, the world is past that. Britain, where he's from, is very liberal. America, very liberal. We're all thinking that race is not an issue. All right? And we're past that. Racism is not, holding blacks back anymore. And, whites and blacks work together. Whites and blacks go to school with one another. So this is not a big problem. Until you understand that when you're in relationships with people who don't understand the black experience, it could be a big problem, right? It could be a problem, when I'm in Poland, there are things that Polish people do. I don't have understanding of it or what they might be going through. When I'm in Africa and I'm here now, there are certain situations, even though I'm black, that they are experiencing that I can't relate. But one of the things that if I'm gonna deal with someone from the continent, if I'm gonna deal with somebody from the African American community, and especially if I was gonna deal with somebody who's outside of the community, I'm letting you know where I stand up front. See, Eve wasn't letting her husband know where she stood up front because probably she was trying to get the bag, all right? And the reason why she didn't want to mess that up, because, oh my God, dating music, I got me a rich bread, and oh my goodness, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to swirl it up. I don't want to mess this up. So then you don't want to talk about that. All it's about is just love. Love shows no color, right? But everybody sees color. Don't let anybody lie and tell you that. Everyone sees color. And I think the problem with her is you should talk about these things. Anybody I deal with, even people in the African American community, I let you know where I'm at politically. I'm letting you know where I'm at religiously. I'm letting you know where I'm at about a bunch of things. And then once you can accept that, then we can go forward. Because some people can't accept my political ideologies. And some people can't accept my ideas. You see? And as a woman that's going to be dealing with a man of another race, it seems like, you would want to have those things, and then you don't want to get together with somebody and figure out that you might be with somebody who could be lightweight racist because they don't understand. He should know where you come from. He should know from what you're talking about from Philadelphia. A logical person can put together problems that blacks have. I mean, everybody knows the story about the slave trade. Everybody knows that, right? How can you not understand that? But then again, it just goes to show you, if you can't understand that, even though you know it, you can't be talked to. And the problem that Eve don't want to realize is that she's with a person who don't like, or probably don't like, black people. But you got to cover it up. But anyways, guys, I do thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody. Subscribe, hit the bell. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to www.theafricansuperstar.com, and it's African, Afrikan, and she sells some men's shirts and things like that. Check her out. Go to the link at the pin to the first comment there. You can go and buy some of the shirts that she has. She has backpacks. She has things for black men. So check her out, man. She's a popular YouTuber in the black sector. So she just started out with her new clothing line. I wanted to go ahead and help the sister out. So check her out. Let her know that O'Shea Duke Jackson sent you. You can check out her YouTube channel also by the same name, The African Superstar. And guys, I do thank you. Shout out to you brothers in the building. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out all my information pinned to the top, the Patreon, all that. And as you know, brothers, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.